At 2:17 a.m. the phone buzzed once, then went still. On the lock screen, a single line waited like a small candle in a long hallway. "Are you home yet, my love?" It was the last message a mother sent, and no one ever opened it. Not that night, not the next morning, not even when the world began to ask questions and knew what answered. Because unread messages are easy to live with, until they aren't. Until they become a door you realize you can't walk back through. I then erase, edit the other people's stories for a living. Tragedies neatly trimmed into 3 acts. Music swelling right where the audience need to cry. But nothing in my career prepare me for the koi brada you unread text. Especially when I belong to someone twat spatter who lack thing rat ba no one. Section 1. The blue chat that ne'er came. Daniel had always said his mother was fine living alone in a small apartment above a bakery, fine eating toast for dinner, fine watching old shows with the volume too low, fine pretending she didn't mind. She likes her peace, he told coworkers, friends, even himself. And in a way, she did, because peace is what people name the silence they can't fix. His mother, Marisol, never asked for much. She didn't demand visits, didn't guilt him loudly. She just sent small messages like pebbles tossed gently at a window. "That you eat, drive safe. I saw a bird on the sill. It made me think of you and Daniel." Busy cutting trailers and polishing other people's moments in the South Insurable. With answer when he remembered. Sentence with a heart emoji. Sentence with letter, ma. Sentence not at all, because not answering became a habit the way skipping one workout becomes a month. And the thing about mothers like Marissa is that they keep loving through the gaps. They keep cooking for chairs that might never be filled. They keep folding extra tales as if a visit is always one day away. On the night of the West Messet, Wayne pressed its palms against the city. Traffic lights burrowed into water car. Daniel had taken a late job. Just one more count, outlive it tight. And when he finally left the studio, he didn't check his phone. Not for her, not for anyone. He drove home with the radio low, thinking deadlines, inking the next morning, inking nothing mattered. And somewhere across town, his mother sat in her kitchen with a mug of tea going cool. Watching the mayhem circle like tired horse, she typed Sudi, because her fingers were yawning more. "Are you home yet, my love?" Then I'd deleted, added again, "I made soup," then erased that too, as if offering anything would be too heavy, too needy, too much. Finally she sent only the first line, the softest knock, the smallest request, and she waited for the blue check, for the little sign that said her existence had been received. It never arrived. Section 2. The call that didn't sound urgent until it did. The next morning, Daniel woke up late, his mouth dry, his mind already running. He showered, grabbed coffee, scrolled through headlines, and saw the message notification from Mom. He didn't open it, not because he didn't care, but because he thought he had time, because he thought there would always be another message, another day, another drive safe. That's how loss sneaks in, wearing the mask of later. At 11:34 a.m. he got a call from an unknown number. A calm voice introduced itself as a building manager. There had been a concern. A neighbor had noticed something. His mother hadn't opened her door. Daniel felt annoyance before fear, because the brain protects itself with denial. "She's probably asleep," he said, laughing once, a sound that died immediately in his throat. The manager paused, then spoke more gently. "Sir, could you come down?" The drive to her apartment took 18 minutes. It felt like a year. Rain had stopped, but everything still dripped. Like the city was slow to stop crying. Daniel parked poorly, ran up the stairs, and smelled bread from the bakery below. Warm and ordinary, the kind of smell that should mean the world was safe. The manager stood outside her door with the master key. A neighbor hovered with worried eyes. Daniel's hands shook as if they belonged to someone else. The door opened, and the apartment greeted him with the hush of a room that has decided not to disturb itself. His mother lay on the couch, a blanket half pulled up, as if she had simply fallen asleep mid-thought. Her face looked peaceful, but peace can be a cruel disguise when it arrives too early. The paramedics said words like likely and sometime overnight and we're sorry. Daniel heard them as if underwater. He walked to the kitchen like a sleepwalker. On the stove, a pot sat untouched. The smell of chicken and garlic still clung the air. The soup she almost mentioned was side the mug of tea, or phone light face up. Screen dark hand, and Wade picked up and pressed away, and lock screen lit. There he was, her last message, still weighing. Are you home yet, my love? Unread, like a letter left on the doorstep of a house that had burned down. Section 3, the story he couldn't edit. Grief done. I start with sobbing. Sometimes it starts with inventory. Then knows details like a director scanning a set. The folded dish towel, the little roll ladleant, the grocery list neatly, carrot, celery, chipin, and the bun, and small handwriting. Daniel likes extra lemon. He wanted to scream at how casually loved himself in margins. He wanted to rewind time the way he rewound fudge. He wanted to cut the scene for the worst part happened. But life didn't have an duban. It had only consequences. At the funeral, people told him she was kind, that she prayed for him, that she talked at him like he was the son, even when he do show up. Daniel nodded and held their words like stones he didn't know where to place. After the service, he went back to her apartment to pack her things. That's when he found the notebook, tucked inside a drawer beneath spare napkins. It wasn't a diary filled with drama. It was a simple book of lists and small sentences, and on many pages, the same lines repeated. Daniel's so tired today, I didn't tone well at chest pain. Daniel forgot to call. Maybe he is busy. I will not bother him. I heard sirens. I prayed. I hope he is safe. And then, on the last page, written in careful letters, if I go first, I hope he knows I wasn't lonely. I had him in my heart, but I hope he eats well. Daniel's knees buckled, not from sadness alone, but from shame, because he realized she had been editing her own needs out of life to make space for his. She had directed herself into the background, so his story could feel brighter. That night, Daniel sat in his car outside her building, phone in his hand. He opened her final message, and the timestamp stabbed him. 2:17 a.m. He stared at the words until they blurred. Then he typed a reply even though he moved with Gordower. I'm home now, Ma. I'm sorry. I'm home. He hit send and watched the message sit there, delivered to. He cried the way people cry when they finally understand what they've been borrowing. He cried for every later he has spent like currency. He cried for the soup she made for a son who didn't rye. He cried for the breach at the never came, and in the wakes that followed, something changed, not in the why. When then him, he started treating love like a background end. He started calling the people whose names he can't postpone. He behaved and he answered her friend. He listened longer than he spoke. At work, he edited a commercial and found himself cutting out the loud music, leaving a moment of quiet. because quiet was where truth lived. One evening, months later, he stood in a grocery aisle and bought carrots, celery, chicken, and a lemon. He made soup the way his mother used to, and when it was done, he poured 2 bowls. He said one across from him on the table, not because he believed in ghosts, but because he believed in honor. He placed his phone beside the bowl and opened his messages. He scrolled to her name, and he wrote, "I'm eating, I'm driving safe. I saw a bird on the cell today, and it made me think of you." He didn't send it, he just read it to the empty chair, and for the first time, the emptiness didn't feel like punishment. It felt like a reminder, the kind that hurts, but also guides, because the last message a mother sends is never really about information. It's about presence. It's a hand reaching through time, asking one simple thing, "Are you there?" And the tragedy is just the tragedies that we often answer when it's too late. So you're holding your phone right now. If there's a mail you keep meaning to open, a message you keep meaning to read, don't make a masterpiece every route. Do wait for silence to become permanent. Tap the screen, send the reply, say the small thing that means everything. I'm here.